Yeah. Since 2019, we've been building mindset and purpose for real estate agents, entrepreneurs, leaders, people becoming more than they were yesterday.
Monday through Friday we rise. We win the morning, we win the mind. Faith over fear, pressure into purpose, confidence built through the work. Something good is gonna happen to me. Something good is gonna happen to me. I don't need all the answers, I just need belief. Becoming who I'm called to be, making impact bigger than me. God first, doubt steps back. When it gets heavy, we figure it out. You're not here by accident, you're part of the story. Stepping strong, stepping faith. Let's get your mindset right.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning to you all. Say good morning in the chat. Say good morning in the chat. What up, Ethan? What up, Monica? Good morning to you, Monica. Nancy, Mr. Brian Gauke. Good morning to you, sir. Not too sure where you're calling us from. You know what? Just tell us where you're calling us from. Drop in the city where you're calling us from so that way we could see what you got brewing, what's shaking. Oh boy, we got the South Carolina State broker in charge here. Gotta keep it real serious, guys. Gotta keep compliance in check here. Gonna keep it between the lines. Don't want to get in trouble. What up, Chat? Man, Chat had a great lunch with you yesterday. Thank you, buddy. Chat and I, we literally, it was so funny. We went to TGI Fridays. Chet and I reserved the entire restaurant to ourselves. I think there was like nobody in there. Literally, I'm like, we both pull in the parking lot. I'm like, I could have swore I checked to make sure it was open. I was like, I double checked, and then we sit down. There was more cooks and waitresses there than patrons, and I'm like, I don't even know how this place stays open. Anyway, so Chet, talk about alignment. So that was the first thing we talked about. The second thing we talked about, like, what are you gonna get to eat? And we're like, I'm gonna get this. I don't know what it's called. This rice protein bowl, we'll just say. And I'm like, you know what? I was thinking about doing the same thing. And then we looked at each other. I'm like, but I don't like the pineapples. And he's like, well, I don't like the pineapples either. So we literally ordered the exact same thing yesterday. So talk about alignment. We had it yesterday. So thank you for talking yesterday. Really enjoyed it. We got a lot of great things. Um, I'm just putting it out there, Chet, because it's not 100% official, but it's kind of official. We're not 100% sure. But so on Friday, we had over 100 people on our show. And one of the things that Chet says that if he had 100 people, see, this is what happens when you give me a bet, friend. This is what happens when you throw something on at me. We had 100 people. We actually had 137. Then I found out that I couldn't get everybody to come on. So don't worry, everybody. We got that fixed. So next time we'll be prepared. Because some of you weren't able to listen in because we were maxed out, and that's why I'm gonna share with you the three biggest takeaways that I had, and then I'm gonna ask others for their takeaways. But so on August 18th, put it in your calendar. We are going to do Chet and Cross Country Mortgage are going to host a happy hour event someplace in Charlotte. We do not know exactly where yet. We have Justine. I did get confirmation from Justine that she is going to be coming out here, and we are going to do a special private VIP exclusive special before. So this one, the before one is going to be a little bit more like we're only taking 15 people, and we're going to dissect your business. We're going to help you out with your social media. That one is a VIP type of thing that we are going to do. That one's going to cost you money, just to let you know, so people don't get bent out of shape and fired up and mad. But I mean, I think it's gonna be like $40. Like, where can you go get that for $40? But it's gonna be 2 hours. in Charlotte, and then we're gonna do the big, and then we're gonna grab everybody together for the 6:30. We'll start that off and do that. So if you're interested in the VIP, drop your name in VIP in the chat so that way you can get it. Like just because you do it doesn't mean you have to buy the ticket, but you might be interested in it. So put VIP, your name, and that way we'll get in touch with you. You might want to put your phone number just in case we don't have it. So if you're interested in the VIP, it'll be from 4 to 6, and we're only taking 15 people because it's a private, like we're going to work on your business and really dissect it to really probe into you. So if you're interested in that, VIP, put your phone number in there, and then the big shindig will be 6:30, and I'll let you know where that is. But August 18th. So just want to let you know. And Chet, thank you very much for doing that, and I appreciate the challenge. Appreciate the challenge. So. Well, let's get started, everybody. Good morning to y'all. My name is Coach Brock Zevan, life coach, business coach, real estate coach, real estate agent. I got to add now investor because, man, I've been doing a lot of that lately. And a DID. And not going to lie to y'all, I haven't had my kids like in 2 days. I don't even know what to do with myself. It's like, I was like walking around my house and it's just like nothing's happening. What a difference it is not having like two kids running around during the summer. But I do miss them. I get them back tomorrow. I'm excited to see them tomorrow. But I've been really enjoying a lot of conversations. A lot of you have been reaching out to me. I appreciate you guys reaching out to me. Several of you have engaged at a much higher level. Hats off to you. I don't know, maybe it's like you had enough is enough and you're ready to rock and roll. But for those of you that were here with us on Friday, okay, before I jump into our affirmation or anything else, put a me in the chat if you were here Friday, if you were able to make it in there. Put a me in the chat if you were here on Friday to listen to Tamir and our conversation that we had. I'm working with Tamir for the Rise event that we might do something live. What we just did on his because it was just well received. A lot of you were just like, I had no idea. I had no idea. It's like I tell you, it's like Chat GPT and Gemini. You can't get some of that information that he shared with us, when you Google that type of stuff. And so we are working on putting something in play to possibly do that in October at the Rise event that we have. Or I'm also trying to talk him into coming to Fort Myers for our Margarita, our Real Estate Success Summit in November. So if you haven't gotten any of that information, Jay, if you can throw those into the link. So that way, if you're interested in any of that stuff, it doesn't mean you have to buy the tickets all. It just, they're links for you to learn, to see if it makes sense. Take a look at the flights, look at what works for you. So we got that in October and November. Now, let's just get to our affirmation. Let's go to our affirmation. Let us do that. And you all know it. You all know it. I want you to come off of mute. Come off, Paul. Come off of mute, Paul. I'm seeing that mute button. Just stop working for a minute. Go to the mute button, everybody. Hit unmute, Jackie. I know you're driving, but just be careful. But let's get unmute, everybody. Unmute yourselves. And on the count of three, I really want you to say it. Want you to really say it. 1, 2, and 3.
Something
Something
good
good
is
is going
going
to
to
happen to
happen to
me.
Something
me.
good is
Something
going
good
Good
to
is
is
going to
going to
happen
happen
to
happen
to
to
me.
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 Holy smokes, that was just god awful, but we'll work with it. We'll work with it. That was one of the poor ones. I don't know what everybody happened. Ethan, I said the same thing. I'm just being honest with y'all. That wasn't a good one. That was whew. That was I don't know what everybody took place today, but we're just gonna let that one go. We're gonna let that one slide today, okay, everybody? That's that could get me into these three things for y'all to help you out right away. Which the first one's never give up. So some of you might have to try that one again. But what I want to do today, like literally, I'm just, me, I like to have a lot of notes. Today is very simple. Those are my three things I'm going to talk about today. And I'm going to let God figure out what the rest is going to come inside of me. I did a Facebook post on this, a Facebook Live Saturday morning, when I really was diving in deeper and reflecting on it, on what Tamir said. And I'm very thankful of kind of the opportunities God has given me, and to be able to sit down with that man and have a one-on-one and dive in a little bit deeper was great to be able to have that opportunity. And today I want to share with you the three things that I feel that really, what he said resonated with me. And some of you here today, I'm going to ask you, maybe something that resonated with you on the message that we have. I feel that if you work with these three things, that if you really are intentional on these three things, it can change your life, not only your personal life, but I believe in your business life. I truly believe it. And I'm going to break them down, and I'm going to break them down in the order that I felt that resonated with me. I already let the cat out of the bag on the first one was never give up. But for those that were on the show, that was his one thing that he left us with. And so to me, never give up was the first thing that I really, number one was one that took me was never give up. Never ever give up. And there is you've heard my saying, poor is a mindset, broke is a season. And I think broke could be used in many different words. Most of the time when we immediately think of broke, Jennifer, we think of our pockets, Ethan. We think of our credit cards being maxed out. We think of debt collectors coming after us. For me, I've had police officers show up at my door saying that if I don't pay my IRS bill, I'm going to jail. I've had a lot of financial problems in my life. Most of them, and I would like to say all of us in some capacity, are probably self inflicted. Like they're things that we just, bad decisions, things that just, we feel like the world did us wrong. God did us wrong. He's coming after us. My divorce, um, my drinking habits, my addiction, all these things, I wanted to blame it on that. And there was a point in my life that I actually thought about taking my life and I wanted to hit a tree. And I had it mapped out on where I was going to hit the tree and how it was going to look. And I don't remember everything. I think I was talking to somebody, Michelle, one of your author on defining moments. I remember, and as crazy it sounds, like killing myself really wasn't the lowest part of my life. Because at that point, you've kind of like surrendered yourself a little bit that you're just like, well, this is the game plan that I'm going with. The lowest part for me was when I was in Virginia in that hotel, holding on to that bottle of vodka after just driving 3 hours on the highway, laying down there in the freezing cold in the middle of January, trying to get heat from this furnace that was sitting on the side of this, like one of those like radiator furnaces. And I don't know if it was because I had to be laying on the ground, crumbled up like in a little ball, like to be like, let me affiliate that with the low point. But that was a really, really probably my defining moment. It didn't solve me, it didn't fix me instantaneously, but it was one of those moments that I was just like, you have a choice right this moment that you can either give up or you can get your tail up and drive back home. And I remember it was like 1:13 and I drove back home. And ever since that moment in my life, I kind of had this thing of just not giving up. No matter how broke I was after that point, broken inside of me, broken with my finances, broken in every possible thing you can even imagine, broken in my relationships with my marriage, broken in my house with foreclosures, broken with the IRS with $153,000 in debt, broken because I lost my real estate license and was $76,000 in debt with attorneys. I mean, I was completely flat ass broken in every aspect of my life. And when people say to me, how did you become a life coach? To me, it's a very simple answer. I've been through a lot of shit and I just didn't give up. And when he said that to me, it really resonated to me. And somebody on here today is possibly contemplating maybe giving up in their career, giving up in some aspect of their life, giving up and maybe saying this isn't the right path for me, giving up maybe in a relationship, giving up maybe on their child because their child and you haven't talked forever, maybe giving up because your bills just keep piling up and you don't see a way out. For those of you that are prayerful people, I want you to go look up the Saint Jude, Jude. And he's one of the saints. He's one of Jesus's best friends. But he's the saint for dealing with hopeless causes. And there's many times I felt like I had a hopeless cause and I wanted to give up. So even though never give up was not my number one thing on here, it was something that really resonated with me, that if there's anybody that is thinking about any opportunity, I don't care if there's a 0.5% left in you, that's still a chance. And I don't want you to give up. And I want you, I'll even put my phone number on here right this very moment. And anybody else that wants to put phone numbers in here, of maybe somebody can call you and somebody can reach out to you. But you can call me. I spoke with a lady yesterday that was about to give up. And I asked her, I said, could you just give me one more chance? Just me. She tried many people. I've been through this person, passed on this person, done this, done this. I said, but can I tell you one thing? You haven't had an opportunity with me. And I like to just have one at bat. Drop a 5 in the chat if you're willing to give yourself one more at bat. Whatever dream, whatever goal, whatever thing you're trying to pursue and get after. Maybe you've been told 16 times, maybe 27 times, but you're just willing inside. You're going to promise me that you're just going to give yourself just one more at bat, one more swing, one more opportunity for you, that you promise me you won't give up. Because in that moment, that's when you really grow. That's when you define yourself. So my number two was your closest people and your loved ones will keep you in comfort. Your closest people and your loved ones will keep you in comfort. And what I mean by that is when Tamir was saying that how one of his confidants, one of his best friends, one of his partners told him that he should really reconsider thinking about going into his business, going into like continue to follow his dream. Does everybody remember the one word he said? And I even brought it up on the show. It began with the B. Does anybody remember that word that we use? Put it in the chat if you remember the word B. And just to give you a hint, it's not Brock. It's not. I know you might think it's Brock, but it's not Brock. There's a different B word. Believe. There you go, D. D. Very excellent student. D. Excellent student. Get you a sticker. Get you a sticker over there. Back in the day when I used to teach elementary school, that means you got in the lunch line first. Lunch line first for D. That's what you got. So you have to believe in yourself more than anything else. See, once you learn not to give up, there's nobody else who really gives a shit about you except yourself. In some capacity, it's only you. And only you are the one that can define it and decide whether or not you want to grow and if you want to go forward. And so you have to believe in yourself, because the people that are closest to you, and I told it to you guys when I was saying my mom would say, you know, Brock, you gotta, no, this is in her pitch voice. Brock, you're doing too much, Brock. You gotta just slow down, Brock. Brock, you need to save money. Brock, you're working too hard. Brock, you're burning the candle. Brock, your relationship. Brock. Because she was protecting me. She didn't want to see me get hurt. Mothers primarily do that the most. My dad, not so much. He's just like, you better get it together. Son, you better get it together. I'm trying, Dad. I just don't know what I'm getting together yet. I got pieces everywhere. How many of you go into a room and there's freaking a shit show everywhere and you're like, where do I even start? That's how I was. But I learned I used the remote control as one of my things, and I was just like, I just gotta hit the mute button on that person. I gotta hit the mute button on that. I love you, but I gotta hit the mute button on you because I don't need that noise in my life right now. I need to be like, I believe in myself that I'm gonna figure out a way to make this work in some capacity, in some way. I want you to write this down. For those of you taking notes, where's my mute button? Where's my mute button? Some of you might know who do you need to mute, but you're not muting because you don't know where your button is. You don't know how to hit mute. So you're allowing and you don't know how to filter this noise that you're hearing. And so you have to be able to understand what is your strategy when the noise gets really loud. How many of you remember this with your parents? I remember this. I used to laugh at it. Now I kind of understand it a little bit. Not so much, but I kind of understand it. But how many times were you were driving and you're with your parents, and if the radio was loud and the kids were like you're bickering with your siblings and you were lost, or your parents are trying to find, they'd be like, quiet everybody, turn the radio down, I got to concentrate. Right? They would be like, I can't handle all this noise, turn the radio down, I need to think. That's what some of you need to do. You need to turn the noise down so you can think. And then what I want you to do is once you turn the mute button down and you get back to the foundations, I want you to rebuild yourself and rewire yourself in a way that it doesn't matter the noise. It doesn't matter how loud it gets. I always love watching Tom Brady and those football players on third down, fourth down, and you're in the opponent's stadium and it's a playoff game and that freaking crowd is screaming and yelling and going insane because what are they trying to do? Distract. And that's what the devil does. The devil just distracts you and he brings it in people that you love, you care about, people that supposedly are nurturing you. And he wears a really good Halloween disguise because you're like, maybe I'm supposed to. How many of you had like something bad happen to you 3 times and you're like, you know what? Maybe it's meant to be. Maybe it's meant to be. I've been told this many times and I just think there's a sign being sent to me. No. You know what that means? That means when you're praying for strength, when you're praying for abundance and you're praying for endurance, that's the shit you got to go through. That's the times you have to go through 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. When I said I failed my test 7 times in real estate, I wasn't making that up. I literally failed my exam 7 times. And I passed it by 2 points. And that has changed my life. But what happens if I did it like after the third? You know, it's meant to be. It's meant to be. And guess what my mom was saying the entire time? Brock, just keep trying. And you want to, if you got to go back to teaching, just go back to teaching. You were a great teacher. You could be an assistant principal again. You'd be fine. I think you're a great teacher. That's her way of making me feel comfort because I was so sad. I was so upset. The last one, it was one of Chet's favorites too. I don't compete. I win. And maybe it's because I'm a competitive person as well. But he even said, he's like, I'm not competitive. I just want to win. And I will win. I think I shared it on the meeting, or I shared it on the podcast that Friday. And I said this, Sarah. I said, I never lost a series in basketball, Casey. I never lost a series, Joe. Never lost it, Rosemary. I might have lost a game, Kevin. I might have lost a game, but you won't beat me in a series. I will win because I will outperform. I will outwork. I will not sleep. I will just keep on going until you raise that little white flag and say, okay, I give up. He was working out with me. I said, next time you work out with me, you're working out my workout. He's smiling because he's laughing because he knows. I said, you're going to do my workout. And then I'm going to do his workout. And here's the thing. I'm going to make sure when I do his workout, he doesn't know this, but I'm going to tell him now. I said, I'm going to keep on going until you say I'm done working out. I'm going to make sure I got nothing planned for 2 hours and I'm just going to keep on working out and I'm going to do your workout because I just want to win in every little thing possible. And I don't think it's a bad thing when you're an entrepreneur. I don't think it's a bad thing if you want to be the best version of yourself. Is it possible here that somebody's waking up earlier than you each morning? Is it possible that somebody's going to bed a little bit earlier than you each night? Is it possible that somebody's not drinking because they want to get ahead of the game? Is it possible that somebody's not partying on the weekend because they want to have a clear head to work on a Saturday? Is it possible that somebody's speaking more, studying more, reading more books than you because they want to win more than you? And that's why I like Tamir's thing, is because he did it for 5 frickin' years. February 2021. I wrote it down because I've learned that successful people will leave clues. And it's up to us to have our ears and eyes open to pay attention to those clues. See, I started my real estate business technically when I was 40 years old. I might have already had my license when I was in my young 30s, but I was drinking, I was partying, I was playing until I was 38. And then for the next 2 years, I had to clean up a lot of shit. I had to go through a lot. So I couldn't even really get too involved in real estate until I was 40 years old. And I say I've been in the business for 8 years. And I don't say this to impress you, but out of the 8 years, 5 of them for 5 straight years, going to be 6 years in a row now, I've made over $250,000. And for one of them, I didn't even have a freaking real estate license because I was going through a lawsuit and I still made over $250,000. Why? Because I effing want to win really, really bad. And nobody's going to get in my way because I believe in myself. And out of that $250,000, that's what literally got me to write my own book, because I did it just by talking to FSBOs and expireds and talking to strangers. And that's what helped me be really good on the phone, because I've learned how to do it at a very high level. What is it? Where is it? I want you to write this down. Where do I want to win? Where do I want to win in my life? And I think, Chet, you had a great thing the other day when you were talking about what do I want to win daily? Where's my daily win? Where is it that you want to win every freaking day? It could be winning that you want to drink 100 ounces of water. It could be winning that you're going to get up early. It could be winning because you're going to wash your car, do the dishes, and do the laundry, and then you're going to sit down and you're going to read up 10 pages. I don't know. It all depends on what you want to do. But ask yourself, where do you want to win? Tamir wanted to win Remax. God bless him, man. Talk about thinking big. That's not a small little task, all. $880 million is not you're in less than 1%. If you don't, just ask John Hart. John Hart deals with millionaires all the time. That's a very, very small percentage of society. For those of you who have an opportunity to text the guy, you can go into your work Vivo. Did you text him? Did you engage with him? Did you say, man, I really liked your show. I appreciated that. You have an opportunity. It doesn't matter if you've never done a deal. That's how you get connections. That's how you start from the ground up, as you go and engage. Chet and I had no idea who each other were less than 2 years ago. And he met Jackie Spain, and Jackie Spain's on here, met Dee, and they went to a Tom Ferry event. And next thing you know, Chet's calling me up saying, I think I'm supposed to talk to you. And I said, I heard about you and let's do it. And next thing you know, we're doing business and doing things I can't even say right this moment, but there's opportunities going. We're doing happy hours now together. We're having lunch together by ourselves at TGI Fridays, having the same lunch together. Where do you want to win? And damn, it's 8:46. Boy, oh boy, I'm terrible. No matter how hard I said, I'm going to make sure I leave time for others to talk. And here I am. I frickin' ramble my mouth the entire time. Well, if you got something out of today, drop a 5 in the chat in some capacity. If you got something out of today that you're able to take with you, we're going to put these 3 things on here. Whether it's you're never going to give up, making sure you know where your mute button is to filter the noise out there, and to understand that you're here to win. And whatever that look like. If you want to be part of our VIP on August 18th, make sure you put your phone number and put VIP in the chat so that way we can get you your ticket. We only do have 15 people. If you're interested about coming to our Real Estate Success Summit down in Fort Myers, literally on the beach, we have that too. Our links right there. You got our YouTube channel. You got the Facebook group. Please join our Facebook group on here. I appreciate you all. Thank you all so very much for being on here. For those of you that came back from Friday, thank you. Please keep coming back. We have a special guest tomorrow. It is the 5th Wednesday of the month. It only happens every so often, just to let you know for calendar purposes. It doesn't happen every month. This is one of them. I think it happens 3 times a year, and tomorrow is it. So come back to us at 8:15 Eastern time. If I can help you in any possible way, please let us know. Looking forward to seeing you at our happy hour in August. God bless you all. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 8:15. Have a freaking amazing day. Go win. See ya.